Hello there. It's great to have you join us on a new episode of Tech Trends as we seek out innovation and creativity that are unique to Africa. On the show this week, short-form video hosting service TikTok introduces safety measures to protect users on the platform, especially children, through #SaferTogether initiative. And my guest this week is Lanre Olaniyan, founder of Norms, with over 20 years' experience in software development, and he speaks on the growth of the industry. I am Olayemi Odunuga. Welcome to the program. Cyberbullies can hide behind the mask of anonymity online and do not need direct physical access to the victims to do unimaginable harm. Thank you for staying with us. Online access has its benefits, but it also comes with risks, especially when it comes to children, which is why short-form video hosting service TikTok has launched its #SaferTogether campaign to ensure the protection of users on the platform. New safety measures have been introduced to provide a safe and welcoming app environment for its community. Here's more. Inscribed on the safety wall of TikTok are new in-app features to help users manage their account as well as their content and privacy settings. And Nigerian content creators are already getting acquainted with them. This gathering is part of the short-form video hosting service's goal to create a positive in-app experience and ensure a safe space for all users through its #SaferTogether campaign, the first ever safety campaign for TikTok in sub-Saharan Africa, Nigeria.
We are, and we believe, we're the leading short-form video platform globally, and I think you guys know this. You guys make it what it is. Our users, we have over 1 billion active users monthly on TikTok, and we're so happy to know that everyone in this room is a part of that number. So You guys are a part of the TikTok family. Our mission will always be to inspire creativity and bring joy. And that's why we say no to negativity. We say no to trolls. Today we are going to say no to bullies. We're going to say yes to mental health, yes to taking care of yourself when you're on TikTok. So today's going to be a good day, guys. Totally about positivity.
The Director General of the National Orientation Agency believes the campaign will help check the challenges of social media ahead of the 2023 general elections.
Exponential growth of the use of social media has led to tremendous business opportunities for influencers, for brands, and organizations. Unfortunately, however, this growth has also led to challenges like fake news, hate speeches, misinformation and disinformation, cyberbullying, child pornography, and other associated unwholesome social practices. With the 2023 general elections fast approaching, the challenges of social media have become more palpable. And if this is left unchecked, it not only poses a threat to the credibility of the elections, but also to our national security and development.
TikTok's focus on user protection and safety aims to empower creators, parents, teachers, and guardians with knowledge of the app's safety.
Safety is something that we take very, very seriously at TikTok, with our mission being that of creating joy and inspiring creativity. This cannot be possible if we do not take safety, make safety part of the core of what we're doing. After all these videos that you've seen about creativity on TikTok, you always ask yourself, how then do we keep TikTok such a safe, such a creative space, such a fun, enjoyable experience? And the starting point of safety at TikTok is always the community guidelines. This is very much at the core of everything that we do in the back end. While you're enjoying your TikToks, we have a set of rules, what we call community guidelines. The community guidelines actually form the core of our values, but they also are the code of conduct of what a user can do on TikTok. With elections coming up in Nigeria, stuff like hate speech as well as misinformation on community guideline number 9 is something that we're very, very keen to get rid of on the platform, to make sure that users can continue to enjoy themselves on the platform without being, bothered about such illegal activity.
As a choice app for all generations, especially the millennials and Gen Zs, its growth also puts teenagers and children at risk, hence the need for safety policies that guarantee the protection of each user on the platform. The new features will not only help bridge the digital gap between parents and teens, but also give guardians and parents control of their one's online presence.
One of them is the family pairing feature, which I think is an amazing one, which allows a parent to pair their TikTok account with that of their child, so they can monitor what kind of content the child is consuming on TikTok and be able to control such things as how much time they can spend on the app as well.
As parents, we need to help safeguard our children, because a lot of adult things are being done or showcased on TikTok that the children should not be seeing, So I really love this. This is a good one. With the guidelines, you have to follow their guidelines as you go on, exploring TikTok. And if you have the younger ones at home, you need to educate them. If they're not up to 13, you need to tell them they can be on TikTok and give them reasons why. You need to encourage and also spread the news around to adults around you who are not really familiar with TikTok, but their kids might kind of find their way down there. So we just need to keep educating people, educating parents, guardians about the safety of keeping the kids away from TikTok if they're not up to 13. And while you're doing your thing, just have fun doing it. You never know what's gonna put you out there.
TikTok boasts of over 1 billion active users monthly as a platform dedicated to empowering Nigerian creators and creating a safe space for them to thrive. "17-year-old Meshach Odion walks to the school library for his next class in ICT. But today is meeting with a team of young tech entrepreneurs who have come to showcase the reading app for the blind with the class. Blind from birth, Odion attends the Pacelli School for the Blind and Partially Sighted Children. He aspires to be a musician. Odion has always been worried about what the world holds for him, with only Braille as his means of reading. He is now more hopeful.
Actually, I would prefer this app because there are many things that I will see outside there, and maybe it will not be in Braille, it may be in sighted, so this app will help me to recognize it.
Odion's renewed hope about his future has been made possible by a Nigerian startup called Vinsight that is focusing on using tech to assist the blind. The team have developed several products, including a mobile app that translates text to audio, which they are now remodeling from the phone software to a hardware eyeglass. Vinsight CEO Kolawole Tomi said he got curious while in the university after a friend told him that his visually impaired friend had to drop out of school. About 15.3% of the world's blind population resides in Africa, according to the World Health Organization, where they often lack the resources and support needed to succeed in school and everyday life.
I just felt everybody should have the same level of inclusiveness, right? Everybody should have the right to education and right to a good well-being. So, and based out of curiosity, I wanted to just try and see if I could build something that could solve the problem, and that was where it all started from.
The hardware, when completed, will not only assist in reading, but will be able to identify colors, currency, and help the blind virtually connect with someone to navigate around a particular environment. Balogun Marian is a Nigerian Youth Corps member serving in the Lagos State Office for Disability Affairs, an agency that caters for the well-being of people with disability, from advocacy to rehabilitation. While Balogun is totally blind in one eye and only manages to see with the other, she used the Vinsight mobile reading app while in the university.
Nigerian government is actually trying, at least now, they are giving space like slots for those that are visually impaired, even other disabilities, jobs, opportunities for jobs and everything. So it's now becoming a little bit easier. But we're still trying to create the awareness that we are not useless. we can still do things even with the help of tech world.
We see ourselves as more as a technological company driving evolution and driving support for what is already available. So we're just trying to ensure that even though what is already available might not be sufficient enough, we use our technology to give buoyancy and support to what's already available.
The company distributes its products to schools and institutions and estimates it has reached about 5,000 people. As a pair of motorcyclists from Ghanaian startup Swoove zipped along Accra's back streets with deliveries, a team of software engineers tracked their progress on screens. Swoove's founders say because it started out during tough times, the firm is well placed to weather the economic fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic and the effects of conflict in Ukraine.
Because of the economic pressures, it's driving everybody to be more cash efficient. Right, so you have to be very cognizant of how much your customers can afford and what they can do, and build your operations and your product to suit that. Right, so even though it's tough times, I think businesses that can survive within this particular time frame will do even better when times get better. And I'm expecting times to get better maybe within 2 or 3 years. Right, so at that time we would have been through the hard times to then benefit of the good times. So I think it has its advantages and disadvantages. They're being shaped by the flames of economic struggles.
Swoove was one of 5 finalists from South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Senegal, and Ghana, selected from a pool of more than 500 applicants in the annual Best Africa Challenge, which offers a grand prize of $50,000 in funding. It was the first in-person competition at the Silicon Valley-style Accra campus of the Africa-wide Technology Entrepreneur Training Program and Seed Fund since the coronavirus pandemic forced it online in 2020. This year's finalists developed their businesses in a downturn that has affected emerging markets, making the journey to success much harder.
When you find an entrepreneur here who's been able to launch a business, grow that business, rally up interest, finance, resources, talent around that, it's a huge feat, right? Just because it's harder to find those things here. So it's the analogy I would use is, walking into a gold store and buying a nice bracelet versus having to actually mine for the gold, refine the gold, design the gold, right, before you actually then present it to the customer. And that's typically the situation here on the ground.
The competition was won by Senegalese e-commerce platform Kweli, which focuses on African-made products. All 5 finalists will receive coaching from MEST throughout the life of the companies.
We're going to see a few key ideas that are going to blossom and build up into probably big unicorns. The continent still doesn't have a lot of this problem solved. So we're going to see a lot of startups that are coming up that are actually going to solve these problems, and now they have the money to be able to do it. So the future is very exciting for the continent.
Although Swoove did not win, Tabiri took comfort in the outlook for African innovation.
Here are a few things to do to prevent WhatsApp Messenger being hacked. Do not use the unsupported version of WhatsApp. A number of people have found a way to install the popular GB WhatsApp on their devices, even though the company has banned it. If you're one of them, do install that version for the original app. Authorize the 2-step verification process. To do this, go to Settings at WhatsApp, click on Account, click on 2-step verification, enter PIN, that is a 6-digit number, then input your email address and save. If anyone wants to change it, WhatsApp will ask for the 2-step verification. The account won't open without it. And for hacked group members, we advise you first put a call through to the individual whose number was used to send strange messages to the group to confirm if he or she has been hacked. If they were, the admin should immediately remove and re-add such group member. Once this is done, the alleged hacker will be unable to send messages to the group again.
Welcome back. Nigeria has a budding software development industry with a growing community for developers. And a number of these developers continue to build software applications to address some of the country's socio-economic challenges. But despite this rise, a lot is still being lost to the acquisition and maintenance of foreign software used in the country, as findings from a survey of industry players conducted by the Nigerian Communications Commission in 2018 shows that some 7% of software in use in the country are foreign, while only 23% are obtained locally. Larry Olaniyo, founder of NUMS, tells us more.
The software industry has been growing and is still growing, and it's a good thing. It's a lot better than it used to be. Our tech guys are a lot smarter, they understand the language better, and the world is even beginning to recognize that there are talents in Nigeria. Yes, the industry is progressing.
And would you attribute this growth to the fact that the challenges in the industry are being gradually addressed, or is it based on the rise in learning platforms?
Well, I will attribute it to two major things. There are a lot of things, okay, but there are two major ones that stand out. One, there's a lot of training platforms available for people to learn more than before. A lot of organizations have taken it upon themselves to train locals, to develop them. There are a lot of online trainings that are available better than it used to be, okay? And then the second thing is that lately, the whole world, not just the Nigerian population, are beginning to accept products and applications developed in Nigeria. Nigerians are really good. Like in an informal setting, some people say that Nigeria produces one of the best UIs developers in the world. So yes, acceptance and trainings has helped the industry so much, apart from other things too.
With the influx of people learning software engineering, do you think the industry is saturated?
No, far from it. Yes, there's a lot of people learning now. There's a lot of knowledge out there, but the truth is that the industry doesn't have enough yet. It's far from being saturated. We still need a lot of developers, especially back-end and senior levels developers are still very scarce, okay? So there's still room for a lot of people to come in. There's room for us to do a lot. And I believe with that, a lot can still happen. If you see what's happening with the banks today, they are losing resources every day. If there are resources out there, we won't see what we're seeing today, okay? So yes, there's still room for more.
One of the perks of being a software engineer is the fact that one can operate as a freelancer. Would you say that that's a contributor to the success recorded in the industry?
Yes. The way I see it is that the industry offers a lot of flexibility, okay? Well, fortunately, unfortunately, COVID happened, and that changed the perception that a lot of people have about how we can work. And that actually have changed how people are hired in the industry. So yes, freelancers are allowed, remote work are allowed, and because of that, people actually have time to achieve more because they spend less time commuting, they spend less time in traffic, and that has really helped the industry.
Let's talk about policies now.
Yes.
For Nigeria to have a viable software ecosystem, is it not essential to have policies that would, benefit local software companies?
Yes, I agree with you. In every gathering, every society, when there are no rules, there are bound to be chaos, okay? So policies are good, but one of the things I would advise the policymaker is that we really need to make policies that are all-inclusive, that are constructive, and that are developmental, not just for the country, but for the people that are in it too. More than often, you notice that many of the policies are unreasonable and stifle growth and discourage investors. We need to look at that and make sure that our policies are not tailored in that direction. But once, to control the industry and make things work, there have to be rules. And once there are rules, it makes things better.
Some stakeholders in the industry are quite concerned about the inadequate government support and the infiltration by foreign solutions. They think that this needs to be addressed in order for Nigerian software companies to gain relevance in the country as well as in other regions.
Yeah, well, there are two sides to that. Yes, I agree with you. Government has a lot to do to help our local industry to thrive. But at the same time, too, I can tell you that some of the applications developed in Nigeria are actually competing at par with some from other parts of the world. And I see many of Nigerian applications being used in other countries, especially in Africa. Okay, so yes, our industries are growing. Government has much to do, and I believe that when the government actually help and support, we can do more. Okay, and again, many of the people in government don't understand what they stand to gain if they can help this industry to grow. So maybe a little bit more of enlightenment, a little bit more of working together with the government is going to actually help the government to be able to understand what they need or how they need to support the industry. You will agree with me that it's going to be difficult for government to do anything especially when they don't understand what we are doing in the industry. So we need to involve the government, or the government to be involved. And once that is done, and government patronize local companies, there will be a lot of improvement. And actually, they are doing that. They are doing a lot of that through NIDA. And I believe they can still do more. I believe they can do more.
And how do you battle the challenge of your end users or your audience preferring foreign software solutions to indigenous solutions?
Well, that has been very difficult for us, okay? Nigerians need to be re-educated, and they need to realize that good things can come from Nigeria, okay? It will shock you that many of these foreign solutions that Nigerians run after were still developed by Nigerians being part of those teams over there, okay? But we just need to believe that good things can come from here. And as it is now, we are beginning to see that Nigeria is capable of a lot of things. And they'll change a lot of things in the market, and there are still other companies that are doing that right now. And we believe that all we need in the local industry is support and encouragement from the market, from the population, from the consumer. And they will see that a lot are possible here. I will tell you this, Nigerians are smart, Nigerians are ingenious, and Nigerians really understand how these applications work. And all we need to do is to just give them a chance to do this.
And what are some of the other challenges plaguing the industry?
Well, the number one on that list is jackpot syndrome. I'm sorry I have to say that. A lot of people are leaving, they're living in droves, and it's affecting the industry. So you find out that when you train a set of engineers, by the time they are good enough to be called real tech guys, okay, they are being poached by companies abroad. That's a big problem. Another major challenge is that the government doesn't recognize some of the things we need that we need to buy with Forex, okay? It's not everything that we can make locally. There are some things that we still need to get Forex for, and getting Forex to get these things are difficult. Like a high-level computer for processing, we can't get that. I mean, we can't manufacture that yet in Nigeria. But you need a lot of foreign exchange to get this, okay? And those sometimes affect productivity, you know. But we believe we are finding ways around it, okay? And for me, I will stick with those two for now.
What do you think is the way forward?
The way forward for the industry really is for us to begin to, like I said earlier, we still have to encourage the local market. We have to patronize our own products. And once this happens, I believe the local companies who can make enough money to keep the engineers here and keep developing more solutions to help the country. See, Nigeria can earn a lot of resources, foreign resources from applications that are made in Nigeria, and we're able to sell. It's a low-hanging fruit for our government, and they should look into it and see how they can encourage locals to do more than what they are doing right now.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on the program.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
Here's where we draw the curtain on the show this week. I hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget, Tech Trends is here to show you how tech innovators are crafting homegrown solutions in the country, from startups to big techs and, of course, inventful thinkers. If you missed any part of the program, you can always catch up on social media at Tech Trends TV. You can also watch these and previous editions of the show on the Channels TV YouTube account. I'm Olayemi Udunuga. I'll see you next time.